Hello, learners. Welcome you once again to this episode. And in today's session, we will be learning and putting focus on management of human resources, under which we would be going through the block name, which is talent acquisition. And in today's session, we would be covering the process of talent acquisition. So let me come to the point of talent with a small example. Now, if I am a unit, I am a sole proprietorship firm. I want to set up a factory or I want to set up a unit in some part of India. Would the assumption be enough that the factory is just going to get placed by itself and it's going to produce the output, the results and all? Definitely not. We require human resources for that. Now, second question which would certainly come to any firm or a sole proprietorship firm or the public sector undertaking or a government firm or an institute, like, is it anyone or anybody on planet Earth can come and do the work? The answer would be certainly definitely not. So what is talent? And how is it important in making the business run and all? Talent is nothing but a desire or inclination for something, a marked natural ability or skill. I repeat, talent is a desire or inclination for something, a marked natural ability or skill. Now, formally, as used by the ancient Romans and Greeks, they used weight and unit of currency. Talent was a former weight and unit of currency which was used specially by the ancient Romans and Greek. Talent, under the umbrella of talent acquisition or talent hiring, we would be looking into the human resource planning aspect, job analysis, recruitment and selection. Now, what is human resource planning? Is it so simple that we go and pick anyone and anybody for the job? Certainly not. There is a homework which everyone does, or there is a lot of thinking, or there is a lot of doubt inhibition, there is a lot of planning which goes behind before getting on to the final result of the placement and an employee doing his or her duty or task. And that is human resource planning. What is human resource planning? Human resource planning is a process that identifies current and future human resources needs for an organization to achieve its goals. Human resource planning should serve as a link between human resource management and overall strategic planning of an organization. An organization may definitely plan or have high objectives, have values, visions, missions, and a plan to reach, but until unless it has a good human resource planning or a good human resource platform, the results would be in vain. What is job analysis? Job analysis, the process which comes after human resource planning. Job analysis. It is crucial for first helping individuals develop their careers and also for helping organizations develop their employees in order to maximize talent. Very simple. If you dilute the meaning of what is being just discussed and all, until one hires a very good talent, but until and unless there is a productivity, there is an output, or there is an employee who does his best and produces results, it's of no use. Job analysis is thus, it is crucial for first helping individuals develop their careers and also for helping organizations develop their employees in order to maximize talent. The outcomes of job analysis are key influences in designing, learning, developing performance interventions, and improving processes. Recruitment. Recruitment is the overall process of identifying, attracting, screening, shortlisting and interviewing suitable candidates for jobs, either permanent or temporary within an organization. And coming on to the final process of talent acquisition, that is selection. Selection is the process of selecting a qualified person who can successfully do a job and deliver valuable contributions to the organization. This ensures that the selection criteria are job related and will provide meaningful organizational value. At the end of any business firm, either it's sole or proprietorship or public sector undertaking or government or institution, everything adds on to adding value to the organization. Moving further, how is manpower planning defined? Manpower planning and human resource planning are synonymous. In the past, the phrase manpower planning was widely used, but now the emphasis is on human resource planning, which is more broad-based. Human resource or manpower planning is a process by which a management determines how an organization should move from its current manpower position to its desired manpower position. Through planning, a management strives to have the right number and right kind of people at the right places at the right time to do things which result in both the organization and the individual receiving the maximum long-range benefit. Now let us take an example, an industry example. Suppose Reliance is going to set up a new store in Mumbai at a very elite place. Until and unless it has a proper store manager, until and unless it has department managers, until it has assistant store managers, until it has the front-end warriors, which are also known as the customer support associates, until and unless it has a finance department, until and unless it has an inventory which would receive stocks and distribute amongst the managers, until and unless it has a human resource department which will look into the recruitment, selection, training and the performance appraisal part. So the entire process which is done is your manpower planning. It is the process by which a management determines how an organization should move from its current manpower position to its desired manpower position. Through planning, a management strives to have the right number and right kind of people at the right places, at the right time, to do things which result in both the organization and the individual receiving the maximum long-range benefit. Now, human resource planning in a firm consists of a series of activities, which includes the first and foremost activity is forecasting future manpower requirements. Suppose in the first financial year in 1920, but the bygone year, we achieved a target of 50 crores for a particular store with a manpower of 50. So definitely when the target is increased for the next year, we have to plan our manpower accordingly. And manpower needn't be the number of manpower. There might be a very little addition with efficient and effective manpower. So forecasting future manpower requirement is very, very important and the first most primary activity of human resource planning. When we come to the second activity, it is making an inventory of present manpower resources and its optimal utility. It is very true, until and unless a person does his or her best, the results will not be achieved and the results will not be visible. So making best utility of the existing manpower is very, very important in human resource planning, which forms the second activity of human resource planning. Problems are hidden and one can anticipate hidden problems or make a strategy as to how to handle those problems. So number 3 would be the anticipating of manpower problems, which is the third activity in human resource planning. Human resource planning would certainly flow with planning the necessary programs of recruitment, selection, training, development, utilization, transfer, promotion, motivation and compensation. Now moving on, Steiners' 9 strategies for the manpower planners. That is, they should collect maintain and interpret relevant information regarding human resources. Second, they should report periodically manpower objectives, requirements, and existing employment and allied features of manpower. Steiners' third strategy for manpower planners is they should develop procedures and techniques to determine the requirements of different types of manpower over a period of time from the standpoint of organizational goals. Steiners' fourth strategy for manpower planners is they should develop measures of manpower utilization as component of forecasts of manpower requirements along with independent validation. The fifth strategy where Steiner emphasizes human resource planning is they should employ suitable techniques leading to effective allocation of work with a view to improving manpower utilization. Number 6 would be they should conduct research to determine factors hampering the contribution of individuals and groups to the organization with a view to modifying or removing these handicaps. I repeat, they should conduct research to determine factors hampering the contribution of the individuals and groups to the organization with a view to modifying or removing these handicaps. The seventh strategy which Steiner emphasizes is they should develop and employ methods of economic assessment of human resources reflecting its features as income, generator and cost, and accordingly improving the quality of decisions affecting the manpower. Eighth strategy was they should evaluate the procurement, promotion and retention of effective human resources. And last, the strategy which Steiner emphasizes they should analyze the dynamic process of recruitment, promotion and loss to the organization and control these processes with a view to maximize individual and group performance without involving high cost. Suppose we hire staffs at a budget of 1 crore per month, cost of 500 staffs which would come up to 1 crore per month, but the output of the month is less than a crore. That will certainly not work out. So one has to plan out in such a way that the best of the best staffs are retained and hired at a very sufficing rate, at a very manageable cost, which come within the budget of the manpower cost, and the results are fabulous and the output is outstanding. Moving on to the process of human resource planning. For human resource planning, one needs to decide goals and objectives. Without deciding goals and objectives, it would be difficult to come to the point of human resource planning because the manpower would be required to achieve your goals and objectives. The next in the process of human resource planning is to estimate future organizational structure and manpower requirements. Number 3 would be auditing human resources. Number 4 would be planning job requirements and job descriptions. The fifth in the process of human resource planning would be developing a human resource plan. Now moving on, post human resource planning, what is job analysis and what are the uses of job analysis? Job analysis and its uses. Job analysis will be used for organization and manpower planning. It is used for recruitment and selection. It is used for wage and salary administration. It is used for job re-engineering, and it is used for performance appraisal, health and safety of the employees. And it is also looked at the employee training and management's development. Job analysis can be used for organization and manpower planning. It is used for recruitment and selection. It is used for wage and salary administration. It is used for auditing human resources. It is used for planning job requirements and job description. It is used for developing a human resource plan. It is used for job re-engineering. It is used for employee training and management development. it is used for performance appraisal, and it is used for health and safety. Now, if we go back, which we discussed in the preliminary sections of our session, job analysis. Job analysis is crucial for first helping individuals develop their careers and also for helping organizations develop their employees in order to maximize talent. The outcome of job analysis are key influences in design learning, developing performances, interventions, and improving processes. And then connecting it to the uses of job analysis, which we discussed. It is used for organization and manpower planning. It is used for recruitment and selection. It is used for wage and salary administration. It is used for job re-engineering, and job analysis is also used for employee training and management development. It is used for performance appraisal, and it is used for health and safety of the employees. Coming on to recruitment, which forms the key to human resource planning is our recruitment and selection. Now, what is recruitment? Recruitment is a process to deliver the sources of manpower to meet the requirements of the staffing schedule and to employ effective measures for attracting that manpower in adequate numbers to facilitate effective selection of an efficient working force. What is selection? Selection is a long process commencing from the preliminary interview of the applicants and ending with the contract of employment. Selection process or activities typically follow a standard pattern, beginning with an initial screening interview and concluding with final employment decision. The selection process includes, whether you will be aware of or not, a preliminary screening interview. There is an advertisement, there are word of mouth publicity, there are internal communications, internal mails where we get a pool of candidates applying for a particular vacancy. The first round is the preliminary screening interview of these candidates, of these resumes, which moves on to the completion of application form for the selected shortlisted candidates for the interview. There are employment tests, there is a comprehensive interview, there is a background investigation, there are physical examinations, and finally employment decision is made to hire. Often people in the organization and in normal parlance generally tend to forget the difference between recruitment and selection. They confuse recruitment and selection. A small example where in an interview process, a candidate knocks in, a well-known employee knocks in and he says, "Sir, I have a reference. Could you please interview him?" So interview is a higher level of selection, and people often confuse recruitment with selection. So what is recruitment and what is selection? Let's have a look at it. Recruitment, as perceived and is positive in nature, while on the other side, selection is always negative in its nature. Recruitment involves encouraging candidates to apply. There is no limit to accept CVs. There is no limit where a prospective aspirant cannot come and knock at the door or cannot come with his CV to attend the interview. So that is recruitment. But on the other hand, selection happens amongst the qualified applicants. Moving on to recruitment. Recruitment process starts before selection. It is always first recruitment and then we come to the selection. So selection starts after the process of recruitment. Recruitment's main objective is to create a pool of candidates, and selection's main objective is to select the most appropriate person after eliminating others. In recruitment, there is no restriction on the number of persons applying for the job. On the other hand, in selection, we have only restricted number of persons who are selected. So, Just briefing up in today's session where we focused about talent hiring. If you look at talent, talent is nothing but it is a desire or inclination for something and a marked natural ability or skill. Talent, as used by ancient Romans and Greeks, was a former weight and unit of currency. Then we moved on to human resource planning, job analysis, recruitment and selection. Let me tell you, these in talent acquisition, these are the 4 weapons which are used. The top management would certainly allocate a budget. There would be a planning that they are going to set up an industry in this part of India at this geographical terrain or globally. There will be a list of employees, or there will be a job analysis of what the jobs are going to be. There will be certainly a recruitment drive which will finally lead to the selection of the talent or talent hiring. So that's it, and moving on, we'll cover up the next. We'll cover up the sessions of recruitment and selection in more broader views and perspectives. Thank you very much, learners. Thank you.